This episode of the A.T.TIPSCAST is supported by the International Society for Technology and Education. Stay tuned at the end of the episode to hear details about how to participate in a special giveaway from the generous folks at ISTE.
Hi, I'm Sandy Hannabrake, and I'm the Director of South Carolina branch of Touch the Future. We're a link to independence and touch the future of lives each day, providing computers and assistive technology, both reuse and new, to people across the Southeast. We have locations in Georgia and South Carolina. You can find us at www.touchthefuture.us. And you're listening to the A.T.TIPSCAST.
Welcome to the A.T.TIPSCAST, exploring and investigating the implementation of assistive technology in public schools. I'm your host, Chris Bouguet. What is that? Are those dogs barking? Great. I finally get a few minutes here on June 13th, 2012 to record episode 99, and there's dogs outside barking. Of course, just my luck. What have you learned from a good story? When I was younger, I read a James Bond novel where 007 trained his mind to wake up at a certain time by solely repeating that time over and over and over again before falling asleep. Curious, I tried it out to find that indeed I was successful in waking up at that time, give or take 5 minutes. To this day, I can pull off that little trick if I need to. Thank you very much, Ian Fleming. Using stories to teach someone something is... Dogs, shh, I'm trying to record. Using stories to teach someone something is the oldest educational strategy in history. Cave drawings are just stories in picture form. To this day, a good story, paired with pictures, is still used by educators everywhere to teach a concept. Stories can teach us facts, alter our perceptions, open up our world, and ultimately change our lives for the better, forever. If stories are so awesome for teaching us things, then perhaps stories might be a strategy we can leverage to help students become productive digital citizens. Students are growing up in the world of usernames and passwords, acceptable use policies, cyberbullying, synchronous and asynchronous online communication, digital content creation, and text messaging. If storytelling is an effective teaching strategy, then perhaps we should look to stories to help our students understand and practice positive digital citizenship. Lucky for us, there's a series of children's books out there attempting to do this very thing. Dogs, seriously, shh! We'll finally find the answer to that long-standing question, who let the dogs out, as we explore A.T.TIP number 286, the Piano and Laylee Learning Adventure Series. As a child's brain develops, it is bombarded with all sorts of information during every waking hour. This information is taken in and synthesized to help develop and shape the individual. In this way, parents and teachers can ingrain and instill positive behaviors and reactions to common situations. We call these social scripts, and the more practice we have with a variety of situations, the more comfortable we feel in these situations because we know exactly how to react. For instance, when we go out to eat, we have a set of rules we follow based on the type of restaurant. As a child, most of us learn that when the waiter or waitress comes to the table, first you order drinks, then you look at the menu, then you order, then you wait some more for the food to come out, and then you eat. While ordering, it is polite to look at the waiter and waitress and say please and thank you. Throughout the entire experience, children are learning how to behave in a restaurant and how to interact in that situation. These skills are learned while very young and then carried on into adulthood. Students learn how to handle these situations from ongoing practice and experience. Therefore, it's up to us as educators to ensure that students are exposed to strategies for situations where they can practice being a positive digital citizen. If we ingrain and instill positive scripts and strategies at a young age, children will be prepared for how to act and react in the digital world. Students shouldn't have to wait to feel weird or uncomfortable and then learn strategies for how to cope. Rather, they should have a strong foundation of what's expected, what's appropriate, and what's positive. The Piano and Laylee Learning Adventure series introduces children ages 5 and up to the concepts of what it means to be a positive digital citizen. The stories are designed to be read aloud, either individually or in small group settings, where the reader can pause frequently to ask the children questions. There are 5 books in the series, and they follow the adventures of 2 puppies named Piano and Laylee, who learn how to be responsible while using technology. The author of the books, Carmela Curatola Knowles, does an excellent job making analogies for students between learned concepts and skills and how they apply when interacting in a digital space. I actually could go on and on why I like these books, but I thought that sounded kind of boring, so I decided to invite my 6-year-old son onto the podcast to share his thoughts on these books. Here's a brief interview with Tucker Bouguet, a recent graduate of 1st grade, answering some questions and telling us all about his experiences with the Piano and Laylee series of books. Today I am joined with Tucker Bouguet, who is just graduated from 1st grade, and now you're headed into?
2nd grade.
And tell me, did you have a good 1st grade year?
Yep.
Gotcha. Now, every night when you come home, we always have dinner, and maybe we do some sort of activity like, wrestling in the barn, or we play soccer or sword fight or something, right?
Yeah.
And then after all of that, what do?
We do reading time.
We are reading a book right now because what did we find out in our ponds?
Frogs.
Frogs. And how are you sure they're frogs? How do we know if they're frogs or toads?
'Cause when they grow up, if they have little legs all the time, they'll be toads. And if they have long legs, they'll be frogs.
Uh-huh. Okay. But how do you know that? Did you watch a video about it?
Nope.
Did Grandma or Grandpa tell you about it?
Nope.
Did one of your friends tell you about it?
Nope.
So how do you know this information?
'Cause I read a book about them.
Oh, you read a book about them. So you learned something from a book?
Yes.
Gotcha. And can you think of any other books where you learned stuff from?
Piano and Laylee.
You learned stuff from the Piano and Laylee books?
Yep.
Did we read all of these for reading time?
Yes.
But is that the first time you read them?
No.
So you read them before we did reading time?
Yeah.
I had them on the coffee table. We were waiting there for reading time. But did you wait for reading time?
No. I just picked one up and started reading it.
You just picked one up and started reading it? Which one looked interesting to you that you wanted to pick it up and start reading it?
Piano and Laylee text message.
Piano and Laylee text message. Now, do you remember what this story is about?
Yes. It's about Piano and Laylee getting cell phones, and they text each other in a nasty way.
They text each other in a nasty way?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
Their mothers tell them how to use them right.
Ah, gotcha. So Piano and Laylee learn how to be good text messengers.
Yes.
And then what did we do after that? Because did you have a way to text message?
No.
No, but do you now?
Yes.
So can you tell everybody? How do you text message now?
I use an iPod Touch.
And then what app do you use on the iPod Touch?
Text free.
Gotcha. We set you up with a free, text-free account. And then who do you text with?
Only Mommy and Daddy.
Only Mommy and Daddy for you to practice right now, right?
Yeah.
And you know the right way to practice text messaging because
Piano and Laylee.
you read a book about it, right?
Yep.
Cool. And maybe someday we'll set you up so you can text message with Mimi and Papa, right?
Yeah.
Some other trusted relatives or friends, right?
Yeah.
And this way you can learn how to be a good text messenger when you grow up.
Yep.
Right? All right. What about this book? Tell me about this book. What's it called?
It is called Piano and Laylee and the Cyberbully.
A cyberbully. What happens in this story?
A cyberbully comes online and knocks them down in their fun game.
So they're having fun in their game, and then someone comes in and knocks them down?
Yeah,
And what do
a bad person.
And what do Piano and Laylee do about it?
They do the same thing back.
So they're nasty back?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then
they get talked to by their Piano's father.
is it Piano's father? All right, so Piano's father explains to them what to do, whether they see a bully online or whether they see a bully in real life.
Yeah.
And what are you supposed to do? If someone's bullying you, what do you do?
You just ignore them.
Mm-hmm. You just walk away, right?
Yep.
And is that what Piano and Laylee learn in this book?
Yeah. And Piano and Laylee go online too. they go to puppy play, and then they see gobs of fun on the computer.
And do they know who Gobs of Fun is?
No.
So he's a...
stranger.
Uh-huh. Just like a stranger they meet in person, right?
Yep.
And what, you know the rule, what happens if you meet a stranger in person? What do you do?
Walk away. You just walk away from the computer.
That's right.
And shut it off.
And shut it off. Excellent. Excellent. And then there's 2 other Piano and Laylee stories. Tell us about this book. What's the title of this book?
Piano and Laylee learn about acceptable use policies.
Okay.
And it is about when they learn to not log in to other people's password.
Oh, right. One of the dogs, I forget, was it Piano or Laylee?
It was Piano.
Oh, Piano. He logged in using his friend's account, right?
Yep, Laylee's.
Laylee's account, right? And are you allowed to log in as someone else's account?
No.
Right. It messes up everyone's games, right?
Yep.
All your scores and everything.
Yes.
Do you have to log into stuff at school?
Yes.
Yeah, like what? What kind of stuff do you log into?
I log into computer games. Like, everyday mathematics.
Or?
Reading eggs.
When you log into those games, you have your own username and password, right?
Uh-huh.
And can you share your username and password?
No.
No. And how do you know that?
I read this book.
All right, and there's one book left to talk about.
It is Piano and Laylee Help a Copycat Become a Creative Cat.
Now, do you remember about this?
Yes.
All right, what's this book about?
It is about a cat that likes to copy and print, and you can't do that because the people that made that worked really hard on it, and they expect to make money with it, so they don't want it to be used so it can be gone.
Gotcha. So what's the point of this book?
The point of this book is to not copy. You can only use a little bit of people's videos, music, or pictures.
Right. It's something called fair use. You can use other people's stuff sometimes, and you can cite it under fair use. You don't want to steal other people's stuff, right?
Right.
Would you recommend this to other first graders?
Yes.
Would you recommend this to second graders?
Yes. I'd recommend these books to everyone.
Thank you, Tucker, for being part of the A.T.TIPScast.
You're welcome.
I hope you enjoyed the interview, and I hope you check out the Piano and Laylee learning series over at bit.ly/pianoandlaylee. That's bit.ly/pianoandlaylee. I'm certain you, your kids, and your students will enjoy their adventures while learning strategies for how to become positive and productive digital citizens. Before I get into the details of the giveaway, I wanted to thank Sandy Handebrink for the bumper you heard at the beginning of this episode. If you live in the southeastern United States and need some assistance, check out
www.touchthefuture.us.
I know Sandy is ready, willing, and waiting to provide some help. And now for the details of the giveaway. Here's all you have to do. Somehow, let me know that you've shared the Piano and Laylee books with other people. You can tweet about it. You can put it as a status update on Facebook. You can share it on LinkedIn. You can send an email about it to your colleagues. You can pin it on Pinterest, or really anything at all that shares the Piano and Laylee website, bit.ly/pianoandlaylee, or shares a picture of the Piano and Laylee series. Anything at all that shares the Piano and Laylee Learning Adventure series. Each way you share earns you one chance to win a complete set of the Piano and Laylee books donated by ISTE. That's over a $40 value. Thanks, ISTE. Once you share, make sure I know about it by sending me a picture or a tweet or posting to the A.T.TIPSCAST Facebook page. There are tons of ways to connect with me, like via email at attipscast@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment on the blog attipscast.com, or via Twitter at A.T.TIPSCAST. That's just to name a few, so it's your choice for what works best for you. If you spread the word about Piano and Laylee and somehow let me know, I'll put your name on the list. And I'll put your name on the list for each different way you share. So if you share bit.ly/pianoandlaylee 3 different ways, you'll receive 3 chances to win. The deadline for the giveaway is 11:59 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, June 27th, 2012. That's smack dab in the middle of the ISTE conference, everybody. First thing that I'll do on the morning of Thursday, June 28th, is use a random number generator to pick a winner from the list. And that's all there is to it. Share bit.ly/Piano and Laylee. Somehow let me know about it, and you get a chance to win the entire set of these fabulous books. As we wrap up episode number 99 of the A.T.TIPSCAST, let me say, until next time, may all your interventions be inclusive, may all your strategies be supportive, and may all your children's books help students be prepared to become the best digital citizens they can be.
I wanna be a puppy dog, ruff, 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 a puppy dog. I chew on a shoe and go for a walk. I lick your hand and bark to talk. I wanna be a puppy dog, ruff, 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 a puppy.